There is a nuclear missile that has been launched, and it's going to destroy the Fortnite map, changing it forever. This is the new Equalizer glider in Fortnite Battle Royale. It looks like any other glider. It's got a pretty cool concept. It's themed around music and beats and waveforms, audio wavelengths and all this other stuff. And it's kind of a musical themed glider with all sorts of speakers on it. But if we take a look at the underside of this glider, we can see this image. This is pulled from some of the Fortnite files, and this is the texture that wraps around the barrel on the underside of the glider. And it says, "Warning, nuclear missile launched," and it has the little triangle nuclear fallout radiation symbol on it. And if we look at it from in-game with this screenshot, you can see that the barrel on the underside of the glider, which is on most gliders nowadays, it's just a tube that sits on the underside of the glider that's used as like a kind of design choice. Doesn't really mean much, doesn't really do much, but on this glider specifically, it has a nuclear warning sign. Now, the rest of the glider has nothing to do with this. It's music themed with bass, speakers and all this other stuff and music fluctuating on the actual parachute part of the glider. And then we have this nuclear warning sign. So these two things don't come together, they don't mix, they aren't related, but we have this warning that has been placed in by Epic Games for whatever reason. There is no reason whatsoever that they would place this on this glider unless it was a nuclear missile themed glider, which it isn't. So my question is, why have they put this in the game, and why are they hinting at a nuclear missile being launched, and why have they done it in this way? I think they are doing it as a kind of subtle hint, a subtle drop that they are putting into Fortnite. They're not prepared to reveal any big spoilers or very big hints and Easter eggs at this time. They're kind of preparing it. They're setting the playing field. They're setting everything up so that stuff can start happening as the weeks go by. And I think this is an example of that. It's nothing big. It potentially could lead on to something that happens at the end of Season 7 going into Season 8. But as of right now, this is the only bit of information we have regarding a nuclear missile launch. Now, in the past, we have had missiles being launched out of the map with the missile launch event, with the visitor launching it into the sky and cracking the sky open and everything. We've had that, but that wasn't a nuclear missile. It didn't come back down and destroy the map and make a massive mushroom cloud and cause a bunch of radiation. It was just like kind of like a space alien magic-y rocket thing. But now we have this warning of a nuclear missile, and what could this mean? Well, we already have something that's kind of related to nuclear missiles in the map right now, and that is the bunker over at Wailing Woods. We first noticed this bunker back in around Season 3, Season 4, and ever since people have been speculating what it's for, what it's about, what it's used for, and people have tried to get inside, and nothing's really inside of it. It's just kind of a blank shell at the minute, and nothing's really going on with it, but it's there. It's not surrounded by anything else. It's not part of a structure. You can't destroy it and go inside it. So I believe in the future, if this nuclear missile is launched, Epic Games will update this bunker and make it accessible to players, and players will have to go inside of it in order to take cover from the nuclear blast. This could be another in-game event that they do, where they have like a countdown clock counting down the seconds and minutes to the launch, and as soon as it launches, all players on the map must find their way to the bunker and head inside of it and seek shelter from the nuclear blast. Now, there's another bunker that's been found, and I'll play the footage if I can find it on screen right now so you can see. Someone went into creative mode and managed to bug their way and glitch their way into the actual Fortnite map on creative mode. I'm not sure how they did this, but they went over to this island in the snowy area of the map and deleted this massive iceberg that was sitting on top of another bunker. This one and the one in Wailing Woods makes two. We have no idea how many others there are. This is the only sort of other one that we've found that is the exact same type as the one in Wailing Woods. It's the same shape, same colour, same design. You can't go into it as of yet. So I believe what Epic were planning with this is that over time, as the ice starts to melt, we would see this bunker appear, and maybe it could be two separate locations for players to go if they do decide to do a nuclear launch event in the game. Some players go to the Whaley Woods bunker, some players go to the snowy area of the map, like the bunker down there, because obviously if people are down by the snowy part of the map and the only bunker is in Whaley Woods, it's going to be a lot of time for people to, you know, trek over there and get there in time before the missile launches. Now, the reason for this missile launch isn't clear as of yet, but I have my own theories as to what it could be, and that is the dragon and the dragon eggs and everything happening over at Polar Peak. As of right now, with the iceberg melting over time, enough of the iceberg has melted at this point, revealing a pathway to go underneath the castle and visit the eggs in-game. I made a video on this about a week or two ago, and at that time you couldn't visit these in-game. There was someone who glitched it out in Playground that could actually view the eggs in-game, but there was no way to physically access these eggs, and now there is. The iceberg has melted to the point where if you destroy a couple of walls and you go all the way down to the bottom of the castle, you can see these dragon eggs, and you can see them very clearly. You can see the dragon inside of them, and I believe that is what the nuke is trying to stop. If not the baby eggs, then it's the big massive dragon that's hiding inside the iceberg itself, which I believe is the cause and reason and everything for the iceberg melting. Why else would Polar Peak by itself melt if it wasn't caused by some sort of heat coming from within? And the best source of natural heat that can come from an animal, in fictional terms, is a dragon, because it breathes fire, or, as I said in a previous video, because it's so big, the body heat off the dragon itself is melting the iceberg. So that could be why the nuke is being launched. It's waiting to come back down onto the map when the dragon comes out, or when the dragon eggs do hatch, and that is going to be what's going to happen. It's going to be the dragon versus the nuke, who's going to win type thing. And if this is all correct, and the nuclear missile does come down to either A, destroy the dragon, or B, it could just destroy the map in general and has nothing to do with the dragons, what's going to happen afterwards? If this is timed to the end of Season 7, or around the end of Season 7, because normally towards the end of seasons in Fortnite, a lot of events happen at once. You know, it kind of progresses as a snowball effect. If you roll a snowball down a snowy hill, it starts off very slowly, but as it goes down, it increases in speed. It builds up snow faster and faster and faster until it gets so big and it crashes into a wall, that type of thing. So I believe that's what's going on here. Fortnite and Epic Games are planting the seeds of events at the start of the season and towards the mid-season right now, and we're slowly building up to these huge reveals that are going to happen towards the end of the season. Either A, the dragons come out and wreak havoc on the map, or B, the nuke comes down and destroys the dragons, or just destroys and changes the map in general. Which means that we could potentially be seeing a kind of nuclear fallout radiated map for Season 8, with stuff like Tilted Towers, Salty Springs, Retail Row, all being destroyed or changed in some way in the aftermath of this nuclear bomb. And we could be seeing massive wastelands of dead trees, buildings covered in dirt and moss, buildings being completely ripped apart, and, you know, debris from Tilted Towers being spread across the Fortnite map. And it could be kind of something similar to how Mad Max is. If you guys have ever seen the film Mad Max or seen anything to do with it, you know that was caused by kind of nuclear missile launches, and everyone is pretty much radiated and deformed and mutated. The land is barren and deserted. There's kind of wreckage and remnants of like old buildings and old vehicles spread across, you know, the land, and that could be what they're going for, or kind of like Fallout 4 type thing, where nukes destroy the world and then the people who survive rebuild. They rebuild new cities out of the scrap that was remaining, and we could be seeing, let's say for example, Tilted Towers gets destroyed in this nuclear event. They could rebuild a kind of new Tilted Towers, but out of the scrap and kind of the wreckage and the debris from Tilted Towers, making it a kind of Mad Max / Fallout style town that we can explore and go into. And that is what I feel like is going to happen. Either that or something to do with the dragon destroys the map, but we have this hint of a nuclear missile being launched. And what else could it be aiming at if not the dragons? Because it's clear at the moment that everything to do with the Ice King is evil. He's a kind of evil king that's come towards the Fortnite map with his new iceberg and his castle and everything. Nothing about him screams anything good. So anything that he's going to do, it's going to negatively impact the Fortnite map. And the people behind this missile launch believe that launching a nuke to destroy all this Dragon, Ice King stuff is the best option for the map, and it just means that in Season 8 we'll be seeing a nuclear fallout Mad Max world, which I would actually be really down for. Like, I'm so into that sort of stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. As I said, it's the kind of snowball effect at the minute, so we're going to have to wait another couple of weeks before we see these kind of results show. But those are just my thoughts, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you believe that the dragons are going to come and destroy the map? Do you believe that the nuke is going to destroy the map? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. If you're new here, then subscribe to the channel. But with that, my name has been Sleek Ozzy, and I will see each and every one of you in my next video. Goodbye, guys.